Day one complete and not looking so good this week. We've actually got 172 points so far, which is not a lot after day one. I've got one, two, three, four of my golfers out of the six are over par and in jeopardy of not making the cut. Of the other two, John Ram, not so bad, good finish yesterday, tied 29th at the minute on -1. And on -2, Scotty Scheffler tied 20th. He played with Rory yesterday, and I must say the two of them and Xander Schauffele were extremely poor with regards to shot choices and putting, etc. Particularly Rory, for someone who's played around Quail Hollow so often and has had a number of victories on the actual course, to be tied 98th at the end of day one on +3. He had 4 out of 14 fairways, which is diabolical when we talk about the whole hype before the tournament was about Rory McIlroy's driving record and everything else. Bryson DeChambeau, again, um, I'd say he looked okay yesterday. He was a little bit frustrated on occasions by a couple of the lies he got and different stuff. But Justin Thomas fought back well. So did Shane Larry. Bit unlucky to bogey the last to go +2. But Shane Larry does not seem to be 100%. Even in his interview after round one, he sounded pretty under the weather. And that seemed to be the case early in his round. It took him a while to get going. Most of my golfers, Rory, Scheffler, Shane Larry, and John Rahm, will be playing in the late wave, so I'll be watching them this evening. The early wave today will be Justin Thomas and Bryson DeChambeau, and I'm hoping there's not as big a dichotomy between the two waves, particularly in wave one yesterday, the AM wave. They suffered very wet course conditions, and there obviously was a discussion around left clean in place on fairways or not, and it was decided not to do it. I think Rory and Scotty, in particular, on a number of occasions, complained about mud ball and also the fact I think that added to the debacle on 16, where Scotty and Xander both put shots into the water from seemingly straightforward positions. Rory just didn't play it well and put it atrociously yesterday compared to what he's been doing. So he needs a big reset today. So at the minute, if I can get the six of them through to the weekend, I look forward to how they improve. Other than that, it's going to be a difficult watch, and I could end up with only a couple of my guys getting through, which would be pretty poor. Given that my league position in a couple of the leagues has improved quite a bit. In the Blue Sky League table, I've gone into this one lying in third place. It's been quite a battle to get back up to there. Um, I'm still a little bit behind the two leaders, but only a couple of hundred behind second place. And that's really my aim at the minute. It depends what these guys have picked. Twitty seems to be well clear with James Twitty on 1,500 and 405 points, or 15, yeah, 15,405 points. I have 14,934. And T Shock with Ian Woods is on 15,152. So I'm not too far off him. Um, that's why it's imperative I get six through to the weekend, because these guys, if they get through to the weekend, I'm hoping they'll do a good run on it. It would be a pity because here we golf pod on YouTube in that particular league. I'd actually got up to second place. Well, I am 300 clear of third, and I'm within 34 points of first. So I'm hoping for a good weekend to help me out there. But as I say, the six of them are in precarious position at the moment and need to improve greatly this afternoon and this evening. And hopefully conditions favour uh, the their style of golf more than it did in day one. Okay, yep. Rory McIlroy suffered. Well, he suffered yesterday quite a bit, particularly with his driving. And I think he's actually suffering from a Masters hangover after his poor opening round at the PGA Championship. Um, Realistically, at the end of the day, this was not the kind of round that you would have expected from McIlroy in a big tournament. There's been a lot of turmoil this last month, all positive turmoil with his success at the Masters. Um, he's won the Grand Slam, a lifelong achievement for every single one of these big players. But is that a great place to come to reset a PGA Championship? And is he really in the right place mentally? With the new major schedule, everything's compacted, and it's really difficult when you're coming off such a high, enjoying all the success of the last month. Maybe it's not conducive to putting him in the right mindset. Maybe everything is a little too cramped at the minute in the major schedule. Nonetheless, I would say he's not out of this tournament. And for my own selfish ends regarding my fantasy team, I hope he'll come at it again today. And maybe now he's had his bad score, that kickstarts him over the next couple of days. Being in the evening wave or the afternoon wave, he has the opportunity of actually knowing what the cut line is rather than going out in the morning and kind of a little bit of an abyss. The afternoon groups will know what they need to do to get through to the weekend, and that maybe helps a little bit. Another of my team who had a great opening day was Scotty Scheffler, who himself launched a stinging attack on the PGA Championship chiefs for binning preferred lays at this year's tournament. I'd already spoken about that. The usual lifting and place rules, which allow players to take relief when their balls are muddy, had been discarded at Quail Hollow. Scheffler was one of several players forced to hit balls that were caked in mud, leading to a number of errant shots. And I watched that happen quite a bit yesterday afternoon. In golf, there's enough luck throughout a 72 hole tournament that I don't think the story should have been whether or not the ball is played up or down. When he looked at golf tournaments, he wanted the purest, fairest test of golf, and in his opinion, maybe the ball should have been played up today. He said that it possibly cost him two shots on one hole, and I know where that is on 16. And if he'd let that bother him, it could have cost him up to five shots in the rest of the round. But he was proud of how he stayed in there, and he didn't let it get to him. And he was able to post some and play some solid golf in which he was a bit all over the place, but he still posted a score. He's still well in the tournament. And I ended up actually coping with the conditions probably better than Rory did. But I think that was more down to the fact that he kept it on the fairway, even though he did cop a few bad lays from the middle of the fairway. Bryson DeChambeau, he nearly made an incredible hole-in-one at the iconic 17th hole during his opening round. The big-hitting American opted for a 7-iron and ended up just 3 inches away from the hole. He knocked in the resulting putt for a birdie, but it was nearly so much better as he signed for an even par 71 following a top-in bogey on his final hole of the day. Anyway, we ended the second day with my team stacked full of so-called big names that need to live up to their pre-tournament billings and get themselves back in the tournament and through to the weekend. At the minute, I'll take that as my starting point, and hopefully I have an interest over the weekend and I can maintain my current good league form.